On this show, we're exploring the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore that's located about 20 miles west of Traverse City, Michigan. The makeup of this natural world includes miles of sandy beaches, bluffs that soar to heights of 450 feet above Lake Michigan that provide spectacular views of the lake, rich forests, and crystal clear inland lakes. So come with us as we explore some history and natural beauty of one of the most breathtaking places in the world, right here on History and Relics. The Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore is located along a 35-mile stretch of Lake Michigan coastline. They protect more than 71,000 acres, or over 100 square miles, of shoreline. The Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore is located about 20 miles west of Traverse City, the largest city in northern Michigan. The southern end of the park is located within northwestern Benzie County and includes the shoreline of Platte Bay and the mouth of the Platte River. This area of the park is much flatter than the northern sections within southwestern Leelanau County. The Leelanau County sections of the park include the Dune Climb, Empire Bluff, Pyramid Point, and Pierce Stocking Scenic Drive. Much of the park within Leelanau County is located adjacent to Glen Lake, Michigan's 18th largest lake. The landscape within the park was shaped during the Wisconsin glaciation during the last glacial period, approximately 10 to 14,000 years ago. The dunes themselves are not a true dune, but rather a perched dune, a thin layer of wind-blown sand perched upon a large deposit of glacial debris. Over time, the dunes have gradually migrated eastward. The park was named after the legend of the Sleeping Bear, as told by the Ojibwe people, also known as the Chippewa. According to the legend, an erroneous forest fire on the western shore of Lake Michigan drove a mother bear and her two cubs into the lake for shelter. After many miles of swimming, determined to reach the opposite shore, the mother bear made it to shore and waited for her cubs atop a high bluff. But the two cubs lagged behind and later drowned. The mother bear stayed and waited, hoping that her cubs would soon appear. Impressed by the mother bear's determination and faith, the Great Spirit created two islands, North and South Manitou Islands, to memorialize the cubs, and the winds buried the sleeping mother bear under the sands of the dunes, where she waits to this day. The location of the mother bear was marked by a small tree-covered knoll at the top edge of the bluff that appeared like a sleeping bear from the water. Wind and erosion have caused the bear to shrink in size over the years. Empire and Glen Arbor are the nearest communities to the National Lakeshore. Empire is the home of the Philip A. Hart Visitor Center, which serves as the park's headquarters. Meanwhile, Glen Arbor existed as a company town from 1865 to 1931. Originally a dock for Glen Arbor, the site soon became a fuel supply point for ships traveling up and down the lake. Pierce Stocking Scenic Drive is a scenic road within the park. Known for its scenic views and winding curves, the road is named after Pierce Stocking, who spent his youth working as a Michigan lumberman and who used to walk the bluffs above Lake Michigan near Empire. The scenic drive is located just off of M109 between Empire and Glen Haven and runs nearly 7.5 miles, providing access to scenic views of Lake Michigan, Glen Lake, and surrounding parkland. There are 12 numbered locations along the road that are listed in the drive's brochure. The first of these is a covered bridge. After this point, you'll climb a steep hill to an overlook of Glen Lake. The area surrounding this location includes heavily forested areas, sand plains, and scrub growth, among other rock outcrops. In 1962, Senator Philip Hart introduced a bill to create Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park. The park was eventually authorized in October 1970. The park's creation was controversial because it involved the transfer of private property to public ownership. The federal government's stance at the time was that the Great Lakes were the third coast and had to be preserved, much like Cape Hatteras National Seashore or Point Reyes National Seashore. In August 2011, the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore was named by Good Morning America as the most beautiful place in America. In 2014, 32,500 acres, or nearly 51 square miles of the park, were formally designated as the Sleeping Bear Dunes Wilderness by the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore Conservation and Recreation Act. This was the first wilderness protection bill to be passed by the United States Congress in 5 years.
Ready? Ready? Come on, let's go. Ready? Shake it off, let's roll. Come on. Come on. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Come on.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our program. If you like our content, we ask that you give us a thumbs up, a like, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you always know when our new content is published. And all of this costs nothing, but means a lot to us and keeps us growing. You may also leave us a tip if you choose. The address is provided here on your screen, and a link is provided in the description area below. So until next time, everyone, this one is history.